Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Oak House Racing Truck Series for round 5 here live from Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. This mile-and-a-half racetrack, not quite playing host to the longest night, as it were. It's 125 miles tonight here from Charlotte as we get to the halfway stage of this season at the end of tonight. It's myself, Ian O'Leary, and Dean Biggles with you here tonight on Motormouth Broadcasting, bringing you the live action from Charlotte. And good to be alongside you, Biggles, for this round of the championship. It's a classic mile and a half here from Charlotte. I mean, it's it is what they call in America a cookie cutter racetrack, I believe. I don't know the terminology very well, but it's not got those ragged edges that maybe some of the other intermediates of the world do. But it's very, very well known. Plays host to the 600-mile race, of course, in the Cup Series each year, and it's our last intermediate racetrack until we get to the very last round of the season at Las Vegas. So this is the last circuit of its kind for quite some time.
Yeah, welcome. Absolutely. As you can see the schedule, as you'd mentioned, we're going to head over there to Gateway. We're going to go to the Bristol Dirt track. Will be very interesting on that one. And then we go to a Super Speedway of Talladega. Head over to Lime Rock there and into Viva Las Vegas.
Absolutely. It's a very varied schedule to the end of the season, including one short track, one dirt track, a Super Speedway, a road course, and an intermediate oval to round out the season. Very, very interesting variation in the circuits and tracks to end out the season. Qualifying is currently underway here under the lights at Charlotte here tonight, but in the meantime I'll just tell you about the championship standings, which have stayed the same, at least in only one position for the points leader. Jason McCook still leads the way with 4 top 10s from the 4 races and 3 top 5s, but no wins to his name. Logan Gill has 2, with Howard Peoples, who's in 3rd place, with the 1 win to his name. 23 points separating the top 3 in the point standings using the traditional Winston Cup points scale, which I think is probably best. 23 points, I'll say, covering the top 3 at the moment. Jackson Albright, is next in line. He's still only 78 points behind, with Jaden Mulligan rounding out the top 5 below 500 points. So this is where you get to sort of 100, 150 points back and lower. Brad Compton, who's in 6th place. Wesley Beasley, who's up into the top 10 with last week's results. Same for Ryan Keyser, who's up 7 places. Jason Trockey drops to 9th with Kevin Nerrett. Now, 2 podiums in a row, 2 top 3s in a row for Kevin, getting him into the top 10 in points after missing the opening round of the season at Daytona. So, there's plenty to play for. We're still in the first half, indeed, of this season. Just over a minute to go in qualifying, and it looks like we're going to have 4 non-qualifiers here with 16 times already on the board. There are 4 drivers who are not setting times, and 2 of them, as you noted as we came live here, Biggles, are big names here. Logan Gill, who is 2nd place in the points and a 2-time race winner this season, has not qualified. And Kevin Nerrett, who's been in the top 3 in the last 2 racetracks, both short tracks at Phoenix and Iowa, but he hasn't qualified either. So there's big names starting from the back.
And, obviously, and it's a big opportunity, too, for Logan Gill to seize the lead in this championship hunt, too, with the likes of Chase and McCook not here tonight. I think a few drivers might not be here because I think there might be a special event going on, too, like a Daytona 500 or something like that. I know a few different racing leagues are doing that. So it's money racing. Maybe some of the drivers like to do that. I'm not quite sure. This week, maybe, well, also electricity and all that sort of stuff happening over the United States of America too, mate, with those crazy storms. I know that throughout the week I've been broadcasting some series and they've been pretty low on numbers as well too. So I think there's other things going on. But, of course, the real-life NASCAR's back as well too that we just had at the Bowman Gray. Be interesting tonight how to see who these drivers are. It's, you know that they've got the pace at the back there to get some overtakes done, but however, you know what it's like too, don't you, Ewan? The only problem with being at the back there is that you put yourself at risk there for being involved in incidents. And they only have one fast repair.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a big danger starting yourself from the back end of the field. As you say, Jason McCook and Wesley Beasley, by the way, are known absentees as we know they'll be away, but we're told they're tuning in, so good evening to you both if indeed you have popped in this evening. Let's have a look at the starting grid then. Here for 83 laps at Charlotte, it's Jaden Mulligan who's taken the pole in front of Hal Peoples, one-time race winner so far this season, on the outside of the first row. Second row, Jackson Pole is in the 52 truck in third place ahead of John Russo, who will start fourth in truck 59. Then you've got John Edwards in the 9 truck ahead of Sean LeGrave, who will start from 6th place, best of the Chevys by the way, in 6th place. Then it's Jackson Albright, second best of the Chevys, currently 4th place in points going into tonight. Juan Cobbs Jr. joined very late in practice, but still got a top 10 qualifying time. Into the second half of those who set times, Lawrence Brandon Biggs is at 9th ahead of Jay Trockey, who rounds out the top 10. 11th for Joshua Wise in the 91 in front of Dave Stinson on row 6. Row 7 has Bill Bonsma and Brady LeGrave, and 5th, 13th and 14th. And in the final qualifiers, who were James Burns and Jay LeGrave. Those who didn't qualify, including the big names of Logan Gill and Kevin Nerrett, will start from row 9 at the back end of the field. And at the very back, Dwayne McMahon and Michael Cole will start from the back row as well, if indeed they get onto the grid at all. As you can see down there on pit lane, we don't see them at the moment, so it looks like we may well miss them here tonight, but let's wait and see as we have a look at the temperature on the racetrack. Not too bad at all. I'm not sure what time it is in Sim, Beals, but the temperature is nothing to scream about at all. We are under the lights, cool track temperature. These tyres shouldn't have too much of a difficult day around here tonight.
No, and with the current race information as well too, they'll get 5 sets, so 4 over the wall. But as we were talking in the green room before then, no need necessarily to chew through all those tyres there. 65% fuel limit they're capped at here tonight with 1 fast repair up their sleeve. Basically, you'll get out of jail free card if you're in Monopoly.
Good evening to those watching on at home. Tristan says Logan Gill will win, mark my words. He does say that every week, but to be fair, you've got a 50% strike rate so far, so fair enough, that's not bad. And a good evening to a long-time supporter of Jackson Pole, presuming family member, but there we go. A good evening as well and a welcome to Motormouth Broadcasting and this 5th round of the Oakhouse Racing Truck Series tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 83 laps might sound like a slightly strange distance, but it does make up to 125 miles or 200 kilometres, depending on where you are in the world. That makes quite a lot of sense to me and Pickles.
Yes, it does.
But it's 125 miles here at Charlotte, or just over, as close as you can get to that, over the course of a mile and a half. And we'll see how they go on this rather narrow but iconic racetrack, the NASCAR scene. As the pace truck has its lights off, of course, leading them around, it will pull into pit road and very shortly we'll be underway. Jaden Mulligan in control of the field as the Oakhouse Racing Truck Series gets underway from Charlotte. Green flag in the air for the first time tonight.
As they get into full speed, you just got to get those temperature into those tyres there, get yourself into a racing groove and then start attacking.
There's a big stack up through the quad oval on the opening lap there in the background, but Mulligan gets off to a good start. Here comes Hal Peoples on the outside line though. Peoples already a winner this season, gets to the outside in the 22 truck. As far as our timing screen is concerned, it's also the 19 as far as you can see the livery. We'll get tripped up over that, I'm sure. Out of turn 4, and he is just about going to lead the first lap, and there are his first 5 points of the evening.
Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Using as much of the track limits as possible, as you can see in the background. Absolutely fantastic. Down the back stretch there, a little bit of door banging maybe there between Jaden and John Edwards as they're scrambling for second sheep stations currently at the moment in P2. Whoa, a little wiggly there for the number 9.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Loose. Sideways. Edwards gets loose off of 4, and that's going to send them scrambling behind. One through the grass as well. Oh, they survive just about. I think we survive here. Another through the grass again there. Same truck. Oh, that's trouble. Cobbs and LeGrave involved. Yeah. 2 of the LeGraves involved, and we've got a caution on the run down towards turn 1. You could see it brewing right through turn 4 there, because as soon as Edwards got loose, it started a chain reaction right the way down the field.
Didn't it? If we go back and have a look at our replay. Where specifically? There's a lot of action happening around here, wasn't it? A lot of movement.
Yes, there's a car that runs down the grass twice there. Wonder if they had any role in that. And the the 03 made contact with the 17. That's Juan Cobbs Jr. There isn't it's Brady LaGrave, sorry, who initially hits Juan Cobbs Jr. And then you've got 51-23, that's Sean LaGrave, and Lawrence Brandon Biggs, who is also involved in that crash on the way down towards turn 1. We'll see it from this angle. 17 comes in and unfortunately does drive straight into the 03.
Yeah, that's about 4 trucks involved in that one already, wasn't it? They're hard licks into the fence there. Might be electing to use that fast repair, but not quite sure if they're going to want to be using it just there by in the background of that one. I think also Bill had a moment back in that lap and didn't bring out the caution, but here's the spin for the 27. It's a self-spin. He must regain it. He almost does, but he keeps it out of the fence. And that was just before we had that first caution of the race.
And that's below the apron, so that's why he would have not triggered the caution there. But here's another look on board here. Look at the sprawling behind there. Sean LaGrave, unfortunately, is going to get caught up in this. The Constantina effect goes on, and he hits the wall pretty hard. Remains to be seen here as some of them come down pit lane. Kevin Nerat's into pit lane, so is McMahon, Michael Cole, Juan Cobbs Jr., Sean LaGrave, and Lawrence Brandon Biggs. Who's taking their fast repair? Who is going to try and do the repairs and keep their fast repair for later? Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't it? It's a big ask early in the race, like basically on the first couple of laps. Do you really want to use your fast repair because you've got nothing later on? You might need it. At the moment, I think what they're going to do is just chip away at whatever those repairs are, see if they can get back out there and remain on the lead lap. At the moment, they are going to remain on the lead lap because the leaders are currently heading down the backstretch. But it just depends if the truck's going to be drivable, right? You just don't know until you really just get out there and you're like, oh dear, this thing is just like an absolute beast to drive. I'm going to have to come down to pit road again.
Yeah, they'll have already been assessing whether it's bad to drive, but the thing for them might be how long's the damage here, because I didn't think Kevin Nerat would have very big damage at all in 47, but he clearly does. He's still down pit lane at the moment and repairing that truck. So Juan Cobbs Jr. only had 34 seconds of repair. He gets back going again. But, I mean, yeah, this is taking a long time for Nerat at the moment, who's over a minute in pit lane. Luckily for him, the pace laps here are nearly 90 seconds, and now after a minute and 8, he can get going again. Yeah. So, clearly the repair was just over a minute there. He's taken that now. Nobody got a meatball there as far as I could see, and it was just sort of optional repairs being taken by everybody. And it's been well cleared by everybody down the back end of the field. So I think we've got a racetrack now with clean trucks out there, which is a relief really after the opening caution of the race.
Yeah, I think they should be. We'll see how he is. We'll show the wrench wranglers repair bill at the moment for those drivers that have gone in, and there it is. So that's 50 odd seconds, isn't it? 16 seconds as well too. That's not really, I would have to say, very accurate at the moment, is it? This should actually be a bit more than that. A bit strange, you'd say.
Let's see. There you go. Yeah.
Well,
is that?
Yep. Yeah. Go ahead. Okay.
Sorry, I was just thinking for McMahon. I'm not sure that is entirely true. 19 seconds I'm seeing.
No. Yeah. At 19 seconds. Well, that's what it said for Dwayne. That's what it said for his pit stop stationary. Yes. But yeah. Well, that's quite possible. Howard is actually blinking a little bit there as well too. So come on for the number 19. It's number 22 on scoring and timing, but number 19 on his truck. That's right. It's just going to make us a little bit confusing up here in the booth there, Ewan. But
nothing I find more frustrating. I can't lie.
You're not the only one. Trust me. There's a few commentators I work with that get very peeved with scoring and timing not matching the trucks. Yeah,
but anyway, it baffles me really. Anyway, lap 6 complete here at Charlotte, and we're back under green with how Peoples getting us back underway. Now, he took the lead from Mulligan on the first and the initial start of this race. Can he hold the lead now that he's the one restarting from the front?
It's going to be very interesting. Attacking immediately here. Perhaps we'll be looking to see some 3-wide action. We are going to see some 3-wide action there, Ewan. Already. Battle for the lead.
Yep. Mulligan freight through on the outside line. The outside seemingly a good place to be on these restarts. Albright on the inside was trying to go through as well though, making it 3 wide. Off of turn 4, another lap on the green flag conditions complete. Albright putting the pressure on Peoples, who immediately turns that round and starts to look forward and look to try and get past Mulligan in the lead.
I've gone up to the high side at the moment, as you can see, Jaden, and we have another caution on the speedway. As to where that is, I think it's back in where Bill is. Yes, it is. Bill, the number 27.
Bill Bonsma again.
The wrong way.
Second time tonight. He has been facing the wrong way here, unfortunately. That bit more damage this time round, though. No harm done in the first spin a bit earlier, but there's been harm done this time round. I think he's trying his best to stay out of everybody's way, to be honest. But sometimes that's not the best policy. He does hit the wall there and then gets collected by the 17 of Brady LeGrave. So I think Bonsma, in his attempts to stay out of everybody's way, has got rear-ended there and turned around into the wall. And I think that shows. Unfortunately, sometimes it's it's nice to be nice, but unfortunately, it might not be the best thing to do there. Try and let everybody through, because it does create problems sometimes, and that's perhaps the biggest damage we've seen tonight. Now,
do you remember one time? I think you and I were calling a race, a completely different series, but remember when one of the back markers was trying to get out of the way? It was a road course. And they skidded up and they went onto the grass and they spun and they took out, I think it was like second place or something like that at the time. Purely by
the specific. I do know though. I was broadcasting earlier tonight and something exactly like that happened.
Oh really? Yeah. Yeah. Trying to be nice, unfortunately, and it ends up causing a problem with the other drivers. But once again, he didn't expect that wall to come out and bite him. It was the wall's fault, Bill. We'll put that wall on report, mate. Totally agree with you on that one.
Just take a bit of speed off him on the way down in towards turn 1 there. Across the start-finish line, nobody pitting until I think we get to Bonsma, who might well be the only one coming down this time round. He's actually not with the rest of the field at the moment, but surely he's going to have to take his fast repair. I think the damage is too bad for him to try and get through. Haven't spoken about Logan Gill so far. There he is, Bill Bonsma. Haven't spoken about Logan Gill so far, but up 8 places so far, and making his way into 9th. So it's a couple of good, a good start and a good restart as well from him so far.
Yeah. He's lucky to be able to survive. Once again, that's the only risk with... We know that Logan Gill's got some serious pace here, and it's probably only be a matter of time before he's going to be up front fighting. But once again, it's that big gamble, isn't it? Not qualifying. Having to slice and dice your way through the field there. We've already seen 2 incidents, but one kind of multi-truck incident that took out, two or three trucks on that one. That's something that Logan Gill could have easily been involved in. Remember, I need the 1 fast repair in this series too. So as good as you are of a driver, if your truck's a bit damaged, you will struggle.
Yeah, indeed. 10 laps will be complete at the end of this one, and Bonsma is, he's going to, I think, try and repair this car normally. He's been in there for over 30 seconds so far. The truck you saw going past, by the way, was Lawrence Brandon Biggs, who is now 19th, back on the lead lap, was involved in that first caution of the night and lost a lap due to that. Now is back on the lead lap again with a free pass here at Charlotte tonight. So all 20 still in the race and still on the lead lap. As long as Bonsma can get himself out of the pit lane in time to beat the oncoming traffic. I'm not sure he's going to, though. The 27 is still down on pit lane, so he is going to be laps down now.
Too much damage, unfortunately, I think, at the moment, and he's just elected to completely do that. Now, just to let everybody know, if they are not familiar with iRacing, perhaps you can explain that one too, Ewan, about what will happen if you get optional and required repairs.
Well, yeah, the meatball flag that you'll get, you have to clear required repairs, as it will come up on the screen. You can't leave the pit lane with those unless you get a penalty, but there are optionals as well, which do affect the car's performance, but you don't have to take them, and that's what we're talking about often, to try and clear those. You can very often, especially in an oval race, see drivers out there on with cars or trucks that look pretty bad, and they have optional repairs. They're not quite up to speed, but they press on anyway because they want to clear those optionals without using the fast repair. But the fast repair does get rid of them both instantly, of course. And the reason why they're preserving them is because there is only one to use throughout the day. So far, the majority of the field haven't used them. It looks like we might lose Bondsman, though, from this race, as lap 11 is now about to be completed. Jaden Mulligan at the front, and we'll see whether he's got a green flag run at the front upcoming here. Green flag back in the air. Peoples challenging on the outside there straight away as well.
Yeah, I think they're going to get a few chances of these practice starts now at the moment. Constant attacks over and over again. As you're going to see between the top three. We saw it earlier before. We'll see how it pans out this time around as we get up to full speed.
Down the back stretch is just a great place for the outside, those who are on the outside through 1 and 2 to make positions, and Jackson Pole is doing that now too on Mulligan. Side by side through the quad oval and over the start of the start finish line for another lap. Mulligan down to third after restarting from the front.
I wonder if Logan Gill's going to go straight for the middle. Yes, he will. He's going to have to lift off a little bit at the moment because you can see the forward there of Jaden. But look at that. Bold and brave at the moment.
Oh!
Logan.
Still 3 wide. Albright is on the inside. Outside for Mulligan now. 3 wide as they come off the turn. Contact behind. Russo in the wall. And I think Russo goes backwards. Outside line again now for Gill as he tries to get past Albright. Oh, this is extraordinary stuff from Logan Gill at the moment. The aggression he's showing. And he's pulling it off right now as well.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. You got to take you got to risk it for the biscuit, as they say. He's already essentially at the moment in P5 up 12 places. There you go. One of the drivers going into pit road. I think that might be Michael Cole. But look at that. Absolutely. Howard still in the lead of this one. Jackson Pole. Whoa!
Oh, no!
That's the 52 around.
Contact! 3 of them, and they've all saved it somehow.
Wow.
We're gonna. Oh, Albright may not have saved it, and Mulligan and Pole are on the apron now. Going slowly. Goodness me, they'll get back on the racetrack now and they'll be in 15th and 13th and 15th, a little bit further down the field. Goodness me, a big moment there. But somehow they keep it on the straight and narrow and we stay green here at Charlotte. Remarkable stuff, really. Peoples continues on the lead. Gill continuing to challenge him.
Yep, I'm tipping my virtual hat to that, gentlemen. Although 2 meatball flags come up there for Michael Cole and Brandy LaGrave. So both those drivers will have a lot of repairs to go down pit road and chip out there, as you can still see somebody on the inside apron getting out of the way. But Logan putting challenge to our race leader at the moment of Howard Peoples, and he's got some pressure here. We do know that Logan Gill's got some speed here. How long will it be, inevitably, before he gets into the lead of this race?
It does feel inevitable at the moment, doesn't it? After not qualifying earlier on, Logan Gill is challenging and looking to win his 3rd race of the season. Wise is coming up behind as well, by the way. Joshua Wise, and so's John Edwards. So they're all challenging, and look at this. He's pushing Peoples now. So this is almost Super Speedway style. Wants to distance those behind if at all possible. And there are the fastest laps, by the way, over the course of the last 5, since we've actually had a 5-lap green flag run now to really get hold of this. Logan Gill is faster than the field, although further behind there are some others who are approaching. Look at the group swelling in size in the background.
Yeah, they are. They're absolutely moving and shuffling all around the place. This is what Howard would be looking, and if you're looking over at the back there, to him I would not be worried about. I'd just continue on racing what you're doing. But it's getting really nice and spicy at the back here in the midfield, I mean.
It absolutely is. This front group is pretty much 9 cars strong at the front. This is on board with one of the LaGraves. This is Jay. Currently in 8th position at the moment, just with a great view up in front of the racing that is going on as we approach 1/4 distance here from Charlotte tonight. Side by side on the way into 3 and 4. Contact! Oh my word, that's Wise and Edwards making contact through 3 and 4 there. And there's lapped car as well now. There's a lap car, and that's going to completely slow down the low line. Oh goodness, 3 wide on the inside. There's going to be contact back there. Surely, I think that's LaGrave who was, and it is right. Caution again. I think it's LaGrave who was in trouble there in the 51. Not sure. Maybe it's Juan Cobbs Jr. Sean LaGrave has gotten away with it, actually. Jay LaGrave has not, though. Dave Stinson's in the wall as well.
Well, you called it. That's blowing up engine, too. That thing's seen better days.
Certainly has. That is going to be a fast repair. You're not going to try and persevere with that.
No.
Let's see what... I mean,
It's
lap
the speed
cars,
difference, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to get around and then just gets under the grass, isn't it? And taps the 75.
Yeah,
Nowhere to
hard
go.
contact in the end. Then the inside wall. Oh, look at the other guys coming up on them, by the way. Goodness me. They were approaching at some speed.
It's all about the speed, isn't it? Look at this. You're full speed at the moment. You're going, whoa! Lift off. Gets under the grass. Bang. And that's a hard looking offence too. That's the reason why she blew up, I'd say.
Yeah, Shayla came straight in there. And he's going to be taking that fast repair now. Michael Cole is laps down, by the way, after his green flag pit stop, and Brady LeGray seems to be out of the race. Bill Bonsma out of the race as well at the end of just 9 laps here tonight from Charlotte. Let's have a look at Dave Stinson. He made the right call initially.
Baby, right round.
It's LeGray who makes the wrong call there, unfortunately, and loses it. Gets straight into Stinson, who spins around. Now then, in live pictures, we've got pit stops all round here.
Yep.
We're over a quarter of the way through this race now, and so everyone's deciding that now is the time for a first pit stop of the day. Can they maybe even make it to the end here? 60 laps is quite a long way, and they do have 2/3 of a tank to use, not the full tank, so we will see. And how many tyres do they take as well? How Peoples pulls into the first slot. He'll go up on the right side no matter what. Will he take all 4 here? Because it won't be covered by the fuel. He will take all 4, as reversing there. Russo couldn't quite get into his box. Peoples is going to lead the field out of pit lane for these first stops under caution.
Gets the job done out of pit lane, exactly. Always difficult, isn't it, when a car just pops in right in front of you. But thanks for ghosting in pit lane, otherwise... I know it would be nice as a racing sim to have that off, but do you know how many wrecks we would see in pit lane all the time?
Yes.
You know how difficult it is to get that truck out? Any of those trucks to move around the other trucks? If you have in your pit crew, in your pit box, it would just be an absolute nightmare. But Howard gets the job done. Jay Trockey gets himself up into P2 as well, too. He's up 8 places. There you are.
Yeah, he takes 2 tyres, so moves up. The only driver to do it, along with Jaden Mulligan, actually, who also does it. Other than that, it is 4 tyres all round. As you can see there, there we go. 2 tyres taken by Trockey and Mulligan. It says repairs for John Edwards. I think we may have gone a bit early on that, and same for Russo, because I think it was just a long 4 tyre change, if I'm honest. Yeah. These trucks do take a little bit longer. I do think for Dre McMahon, though, who's down in 16th place, I know can't see on that graphic, but I think that was a little bit of damage repair. Only a little bit, but it was 24 seconds down pit lane. I think there is a relatively big difference between those 2 pit stop times. But yeah, pretty much 4 tyres all way round. But this is a good bit of research for later, because Trockey is a bit of a guinea pig now. How good are these 2 tyres on a restart? And that might be used later on in the race for a bit of research.
Howard's in there. Is that actually Howard in the chat? Then the boys putting up a good show, or it's a Howard fan at least there. Sometimes some drivers I've seen. Chase is in there looking at it. Let's go Jay. Let's go Russo. Let's go Edwards. And of course Chase and Cook is leading the championship, and unfortunately can't be here tonight, but is in the chat room supporting on the drivers in this series, and thank you very much. Once again, this pit stop information is guesstimated. It's not always 100% accurate. It's just based on the times that they spend into pit lane. We don't always 100% sure if they've taken those tyres. This is based on that. Unfortunately, iRacing do not provide us with that information, so we've had to go above and beyond and try to use some fancy math there to calculate what the situation will be.
Yeah, and it does a pretty good job of it as well. Into the restart zone then for Hal Peoples, who again has to control another restart here from Charlotte tonight. Green flag's back in the air, and Trockey not really getting anywhere on that outside line. Gill immediately up into 2nd place.
Here we go again. Let's get some nice green flag running, gentlemen. That's what we want to see. Then we can see the true pace of everybody out there and how they're going to be doing their attacking and defending. So Logan's going
Gill
to
and
give it
Peoples
another
get
shot.
away
Go ahead.
very quickly. Yeah, sorry. Gill and Peoples away very quickly. Trocky is going backwards straight away here. And slide from Cobbs, who goes below the apron. There's a reaction. There's, a car in the wall of grave. It is in the 51 who goes backwards on the front stretch.
There you go. Absolutely action everywhere in the midfield. Looks like Dave might have gone around and go. Yes, he is, but hasn't called the caution. But can he get into pit road for the 75? Yes, he can. What a way. I always say if you have a spin, make sure you have it right into the entrance of the pit road. That way you got to basically just save yourself some pain.
It's going to reduce the amount on the lead lap to just 16 trucks here from Charlotte tonight as we look back from Peoples. A top 6 breaking away from the rest of the field once again here. It does include the 2-tire taking Jay Trocky and Mulligan. So they are both sticking with it. Meantime, Albright turns low off of 2, as he so often has done, and he's alongside Gill now for second.
He's got a great position as well too, because Gill can't do much but tuck in behind him there. So what a smart move there for Jackson Albright, taking advantage of the situation that Gill got caught up behind Howard. And so now he's taking about an attack. But once again, he can get caught in a similar situation here at the moment. This is up to Logan Gill as to want to go down the inside, tuck in behind, or will he follow Albright? At the moment, he's elected just to sit behind Howard. In fact, Albright's elected to go around the outside. This is fantastic battling.
This is fantastic. Albright is having one of his best runs, though, or the best restarts of the race so far, outside of 4 now, and he's not quite clear, but he's got his nose in front of Peoples, and I'm pretty sure he's led that lap there at the end of 27, although Peoples and Gill on the inside here are making some moves as well. Gill just waiting really to see who's going to prevail in this battle, and it's Albright who goes through to the lead.
Wow. Fantastic driving for the number 88 Coors Light racing machine. He's got Lone Star Steakhouse and Saloon. I'm not quite sure where he is actually from. Yeah, we'll see if it has any information from no information from iRacing on that, but maybe you can let us know in the chat where Albright's from. Howard's doing that little bit of blinking again, but thankfully they weren't really side by side for that to be effective, but Howard wants this P1 back again. Ewan.
He dives to the inside through turn 3 again here on Albright, with Gill just seemingly not having the speed of these two. It's clear which 2 trucks are showing the dominance at the moment as they start lap 30, getting into the meat of a run here, and Albright and Peoples are fighting again. Peoples on the inside, can't get past, and Albright rips around the outside, keeps the lead again.
Yeah, Logan's just dropped off a little bit from this battle pack at the front now. I don't know if he's just conserving his tyres at the moment, maybe even conserving fuel, trying something, a sort of different pit stop strategy as well too that we mentioned out there if we do happen to get some nice green flag running. Remember, they are only gassed up to a potential of 65% of what's available out of the 100, so they can't stretch that anymore. You just don't know the strategy from these other drivers that are happening at the moment, but we'll see. They're starting to spread out on the track as well too, and they will be approaching, I think, Dave's Stinson very soon too. The number 75 Ford truck will be up the road there, so we'll be putting another lap on him soon.
Yeah, indeed. 16 still on the lead lap, 19 still running. Bonsmoor's out. Brad LeGrave, I think, maybe disconnected earlier because he's back in the game again after spending 6 minutes down on pit lane, but quite a few laps down, as you can see. 9 laps down on the race leader, Albright, who's beginning to put the pressure on Peoples now too. He's gotten rid of everybody in this group apart from Howard Peoples. And just a kiss off the wall there through turn 2 from the 19 truck.
See it sliding?
Maybe a sign that he's fighting this now.
Yeah, you see it sliding on the back. It's fantastic. When he comes down to the inside apron, you'll see the rear of the truck just sliding. That's just naturally what happens when you're pushing these trucks to the absolute limit. Not so much on this angle here, and on the exit, you will see the rear come out. That's when they start burning through those tyres as well too. And, well, also another situation as well too that we don't see in the broadcast, but overheating of the tyres does occur quite often as well too if you start pushing them too much.
And look at Gill back into the tow here, and so he's getting back in the game. Jay Trocky not too far away either. Kevin Nerrett will be hanging on to the coattails of his draft. So look at this shot here, look back through. They are just about. Goodness me! Look at that group. I didn't quite notice how they were fighting so hard. Mulligan, by the way, on 2 tyres, is struggling a lot more than Truckee is, who is really holding his own actually in truck number 46, because he only took 2 tyres at this restart, and now those left sides are nearly 35 laps old.
Wow, you're absolutely correct on that one. A little bit of weaving, popping. Russo, Edwards, McCollin, Cobbs and Pole just in this midfield, but we will go back up to the front here because Logan Gill said, all right, I sat back for a little bit. I enjoyed the little battle between you two gentlemen, and now three's the party.
Oh, Peoples will gain on Albright there, who gets his line 1 through 3 and 4, and Albright leaves in the lane, but the inside liners we've seen many in the past try and fail. It's difficult to make the pass down there. Peoples dives it into turn 1 though. Albright will get the run on the outside here. He'll get the power down, he'll get on next to the wall, and he will surely be in the lead by the time they get to the line here. He's even nearly clear towards turn 3, and he pulls in front of Peoples to reaffirm that lead, although he drifts up high now through 3 and 4. Peoples on the inside out of this turn has got much more of a chance now. He comes through the quad oval in the lead. He's going to lead at the end of this lap, and that is the change for the first time in a while. The inside though through 1 and 2, he's still not quite clear. Can he come up on Albright here? Yes, he can. He's finally clear in this race lead.
As I was saying out there, hard to complete a pass at the bottom. So Albright goes to the top, cuts off Gill, who has to sit up behind on his bumper. That wall's becoming ever closer and closer the more laps that they put on these boots.
There are the details of the last pit stops, by the way. Truckee now still not able to catch these guys, although that could be quite difficult. Albright taking the same tyres as these guys, by the way, but seemingly struggling now. So has he got a short run truck tonight, and is he struggling now that this run is, getting towards and over 15 laps now?
Well, these three are starting to make a bit of a gap of about 1.5 seconds down to Kevin. You can just see him in the pictures there in that P4 position, and he's got Jay Truckee with him as well too, and then they've got a gap down to a few other drivers actually. A spread out field, then you've got to go down to essentially where Edwards is in that P8 position, where you see the other really close battles on track, which I'm going to show you for a second. Back here, that's Wise, Pole, Russo, Briggs. We'll have a nice little mid-pack fun. But over to the front, Gill has to get past Albright, and now is on the hunt for the lead battle. High up in the fence there, Gill.
Oh, he's in the wall. He's in the fence through turn 2, and that might give Albright the chance to come back at him on the backstretch here. But no, Gill has got good straight line speed, and I think he's got a very good long run truck underneath him at the moment. Albright to the outside though. It's not quite as dominant as it is through 1 and 2 up there, but if he can stay here in time for 1 and 2, Albright might be able to get back past Logan Gill just as quickly as he lost that place.
Oh, this is fantastic. I love it. This is what we want to see at the Oak House Racing Truck Series. Oak House Racing Truck Series, of course, between these Centaurians here at the Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're going for it too for now. In fact, it might start bringing Kevin into play now, because Kevy's got that down from almost 1.5 seconds, just shy of a second in the background. You see him at P4. So he's loving this battle up the road there. It's really giving him. We'll get those fastest 5 for 5 laps too, because I wouldn't be surprised. There he is. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up into that list there, and he certainly is.
Yeah, notice how none of these three are on that list.
Yes, exactly.
That's how hard they're fighting at the moment. None of these three. Oh, there he is. Peoples just slips up there now, but not those two who are side by side at the moment. But now at second currently on that last 5 on average. That's the best average last 5 laps, and now it is coming here. Maybe he's got a long run truck underneath him as well tonight, because last time round he was 0.2 of a second quicker. What's it going to be this time as he gets to less than a second away now from the race lead? It's the fastest lap of anybody last time around, at least of the top 12, from Kevin Narrett. That's the fastest lap of anybody. So he's closing on these front 3.
Yep, absolutely fantastic, and that's what he's been doing. He's been able just to focus on his own race and his own racing line, hasn't he? He hasn't had to worry about trucks around him, but now he's going to get into the dirty air of this 3-way battle up the front, so that's going to be very interesting how he's going to choose to attack this situation, or he's going to sit there and just decide to choose his moments right. Whoa, almost into the tailgate there. Gill and Albright.
Here he is. Kevin Narrett is absolutely here now. Top 3 in the last 2 weeks at Phoenix and Iowa, respectively. Told us after those races, though, that he does prefer the short track compared to the faster intermediates, but we're not seeing that particularly at the moment. Narrett going strongly up the high side in truck 47, and he's just going to take stock of where he is at the moment, but I wonder how long he's going to wait here, because he's clearly got a truck underneath him that can challenge here for a top position tonight.
At the chat there, Albright got that truck rolling. He certainly does. Yeah, we're all pushing it at the moment just to squabble for sheep stations and positions. Essentially in this race, lap 45 of 83. We've got 39 remaining. We're over that halfway point. Remember that fuel capacity of these cars are at 60. These trucks are at 65%. How far do you think they can go there, Ewan, before they're going to have to come down for some more gasolina?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure, because we haven't seen long enough green flag runs to really be able to tell. I think after lap 50, though, we could well see some guys start to think about what they're going to do in terms of coming down pit lane. Not because I think they're going to run out of fuel after 30 laps, but because that would split up the end of the race. If you think they last pitted on lap 21, they restarted with about 60 to go. They want to split that up into 2:30s, then maybe they want to come in 7 laps time, but I think the fuel could take them quite a lot further than that. Maybe it can even take them to the very end of the race. Here comes Kevin Narrett down the inside of Jackson Albright, advertising 2 different types of alcoholic beverages, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he gets through, slips through, does Narrett. Meantime, Peoples just having to move around to keep Gill behind, and Albright's not done yet either.
This is good that Kevy's in the mix as well too. Nothing better than a 3-way fight is a 4-way fight, and still challenging for the lead at the moment. Gill might be singing I want to check out at the moment, because Kevy's coming pretty thick and fast at the moment. Whoa, a little loosey-goosey there.
People on the outside is going to get the run again, though, I think. Although no, Gill slides up in front, so Peoples tucks back in. I wonder whether they've been fuel saving a bit behind Peoples ever since this race just flattened out as far as the cautions were concerned. There was a lot of them early on. There's not been any in the last 25 laps. I wonder whether they've been fuel saving behind Peoples, and now he's returning the favour.
Yeah. Peoples got scrubbed a lot of speed coming out of there, isn't it? As you can see, Gill just gained almost 2 tenths just in that one corner alone. They're going to choose the high side now. Go ahead.
Here comes Narrett on the outside as well, so he's going to get past, and Albright is going to want to follow. Maybe it isn't quite as simple as wanting to go and fuel save, and Peoples is now suffering for going out hard and leading so many laps earlier on here, although he's looking to the inside again on Narrett, so he's not quite done yet, and clearly he has got the speed. Narrett just kisses the wall there. He's going to get clear, though, of Peoples, and he's going to keep second.
Yeah, no room there. Although, might try on the inside apron, as you can see. So it looks good when you're going into the corner, doesn't it there, Ewan? But all of a sudden you realise on the exit, you're scrubbing so much speed there, and you're just trying to control. You're right, absolutely.
Albright's into the pit lane. Road. And we've already seen green flag stops, by the way, from John Russo, John Edwards, Jackson Pole's currently in there, Dave Stinson's already currently in there as well. Sean LeGrave is taking damage repair, so that's why I've not counted him, although he is in pit lane as well, to be fair. So are these guys going to react to that now or not? I think Gill should stay out, to be honest, at front, because he is clearly on a very good run at the moment in terms of this long run speed, and he's going very, very quickly. Only John Russo's gone faster than him in the last 5 laps, and Russo's on new tyres.
If you can pull those banker laps out there like he's doing at the moment and getting a bit of a gap, why not? Absolutely stay out as long as you can. Essentially, the only downside with it, of course, there, Ewan, is that if their caution comes out at some sort of point there, you've got to basically come down a pit road there, because that gap that you just burnt off all that fuel and everything like that, set your fastest laps, is just neglected.
Though they will be a lap down, those on new tyres. Nobody on new tyres is on the lead lap yet, as far as I can see. That just in front of Logan Gill is somebody who's already a lap down. I think it might be Jackson Pole. I can't quite tell at the moment, or Edwards maybe. They're already multiple laps down though, whoever it is, or at least one. James Burns is not really close to being lapped at the moment, and he's not on new tyres. neither is anybody at the moment on the lead lap. So, yes, they would need to stop, but that would trap quite a lot of guys a lap down here. Nerat still holds off Peoples here. This battle for second place, 30 laps to go, sorry, at the end of this one.
Is it a stretch to go to the end? Of course, there'll be one more pit stop. There it is. Somebody... Looks like Kevy was... It wasn't Kevy, sorry. That was a lap car at the moment. That's of Logan Gill. These two still going for it. Gill's out there. Keep an eye on Jackson Albright's times as well, too, Ewan, because now that he's taking his pit stop, depending on the traffic, if he can get it back up there and get some serious speed in there, we shall see soon. We've got more drivers coming down there. We've got Trocky, Wise, LeGrave, and Briggs. We'll head down
and Nara and Peoples are coming in now as well.
Yeah.
Got to get on the brakes here. Oh, very close to missing completely there on the apron. I think Gill's coming in too. They're all coming in now with 29 laps to go. Look at Peoples on the outside. And they're all closing on Gill, who was very conservative there on the way into pit lane. The three of them coming in all one by one. Further behind, by the way, Russo is in front of Albright. So that's going to be the fight for the lead. And it's at the moment in favour of John Russo, who unlaps himself right there in the 59. He is going to be leading this race.
Wow. Heading down in there in lap 42 with 29 to go. John Russo got a bit of a gap there too, about a second to Albright. His last pit stop was down there at lap 42. There was a 14-second pit stop, so he took tyres.
Oh, yeah, it's 4 tyres. Now, Peoples is out, and he's on his way. Nerat's out in front of him, though. Great stop. And Gill is out of the back. So they're getting up to speed here, but they're fighting with one another. Peoples only just in front of Gill. And here comes Russo in the background. He's going to have the momentum here. He's going to get the lead, I think. Although it's going to be tight. They're going to come up in front of him. Do they see him coming? He might have to... Oh, he's have to switch to the inside, surely. He's going to get fouled there by Nerat, who holds the middle lane, and that doesn't allow him to go through. There on the outside is Jackson Albright, who's on the outside line trying to take the race lead now. He gets blocked down to the inside. Kevin Nerat gets to the front here with 28 laps to go, and they do hold off those guys who have gone for the undercut strategy. Russo and Albright are now going to find this very difficult on the older tyres.
Yeah, exactly. Only about 4 laps tyre difference or so between them. Russo a little bit more, of course, but he is battling tooth and nail there, Ewan. There it is in the background. This is fantastic action that you're seeing here on the OCAS Racing and on the Motormouth Broadcasting Network. It is all over the place now. Albright and Nerat battling for the lead. Bit of lap traffic coming up the road too.
88 gets to the lead, so 27 to go, and Jackson Albright's in this race lead, but I think not least because he's pitted 4 laps 4 laps earlier, as you say, but also because I don't think he's got anywhere near as good of a long-run car as Nerat certainly has, and certainly not Logan Gill either. I think Albright could find this very, very difficult, and I think if there's not another caution in this race, I don't think Jackson Albright's going to win it. But of course he can't be involved in the caution, and that's not going to help him much either. Peoples arrived on the scene pretty quickly as well, as Nerat gets back to the race lead here.
Yeah, here comes Howard. He wants to be a part of this. Logan Gill, never count him out. Russo hanging in that P5 position as well, too, and then you've got a big gap there back there to Jay Trocky. So this is going to be essentially, I'd say, a 4 or 5 potential truck, depending on that situation, goes. Maybe 5 at best. There, Ewan. Well, once again, a caution will just throw a spanner in the mix immediately if you haven't had one. But touch wood, let's not have a caution at the moment. I want to see this go 25 and green to the end.
Yeah, we want to see this battle sort of develop on the way through. Gill is having a slow start to this run, but just looking at the way he did those last few laps on the green there before they pitted, he was going very well. Here comes Peoples. On the caution. Caution's out on the speedway with 24 to go at the line. So this race suddenly changes a lot, and it's right in front of the leaders, actually. Who is involved here? Michael Cole's multiple laps down already. I think the 79 of Jay LeGrave is involved with Michael Cole as well. I think, unless that's LeGrave just... oh, no, LeGrave staying on the lead lap there, and I thought I saw him losing time, but he's just slowing down for the caution. Oh, dear, Michael Cole is very damaged by the looks of things, and already is 3 laps down.
It's...
oh, no.
It's a bit bumpy, mate. If you have any fillings in your teeth at the moment there, Mr. Cole, you're going to be rattling them out. I think that's what the famous Formula 1 commentator would say, wasn't it? Martin Brundle. I think this is a solo incident there from Michael Cole. Unless
I saw 2 trucks down there. But
yeah,
let's see.
no,
Oh,
somebody
there
spun in
is.
front. Whoa!
Oh, big hit there.
It was the 51.
51 it is, and it is
Sean?
not a number that exists. Oh, no, it's Sean LeGrave, sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Sean LeGrave was stopped there on the racetrack and was absolutely smashed into by Michael Cole.
You're absolutely correct. You called it. You called it, Ewan. That's what you get for broadcasting 100,000 hours a year of
It's not quite that often.
commentating races. You get to see that, don't you? And then, oh, he moved a little bit, which you should never do. We all know that. Never move. But you'll see it here. Just loses the rear end. 23 gives him a little. Says go around properly. Stays here at the moment. And then we saw that incident before. He isn't really moving. Yeah, it wouldn't really make a difference if you moved too much at all. And that one wasn't. There was still going to be an incident. That's definitely fast
sadly.
repair material right now, mate, because not much time left in this race. And I put Russo down there. Wise,
Yeah.
Cobbs, Pole, Dave, and Michael Cole. But do the leaders have stayed out, of course? You don't want to give track position up now, do you?
And they've not long changed tyres, so
Yeah.
that sort of balancing act, if you like, that risk versus reward has tipped them in favour of staying out. But it's a very interesting call for Russo, and one I absolutely agree with. But the interesting part of it is going to be how quickly can he come through the field, and for Wise as well. But we know Russo's got decent speed because he was almost leading this race a few laps ago. Yes, it was because of a massive undercut of about 10 laps, which meant he could gain a lot of time. But he's got 10 laps fresher tyres now, and he's at the back of the field. Can he work his way through in the last 20-odd laps?
That'll be a bit, yeah. That'll be a tall stretch there for Russo. Here he is currently at the moment. But you never know. 22 laps remaining, give or take, let's say, when we go to green. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Make sure you do hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching on multiple platforms that we're streaming on here currently at the moment. Any way you can support this fantastic community. And sign up and be a part of the Oakhouse Racing community as well, too, because the information should be in the description. Get in there and get started. It's a pretty flexible series as well, too, I'd have to say, Ewan, isn't it? Like, if you don't have... You're not going up against, let's say, Coca-Cola Esports drivers, so you can get in there and have some fun with a mix, and that's what this community is all about.
Yeah, officially there is a cap of 3K on iRating in the Oval Series. Logan Gill does have more than that, but I think the admins do have discretion over that rule. And yeah, Logan
even you
Gill
and I could
does,
race in there, Ewan. Even though you probably have a good
we certainly
iRating.
could. I do prefer broadcasting, I must admit, but but there you go.
Well, you're better at it, my friend, than me. I don't know about your driving skills, so I can't really compare you on that.
No, you can be rest assured about that. My driving skills aren't brilliant to us. One of the only oval races I ever did, I crashed out of at Rockingham. Although I don't think it was my fault. Anyway, the race about to get back underway again. 21 laps to go. Kevin Nerat, the race leader. 47 truck. I think he needs a long green flag run to the end, to be honest, to win this race, and so does Logan Gill, although Gill is a bit more flexible with a short run. Albright and Peoples, I think, are brought more into the game with a lot of cautions towards the end. Let's see which reality takes place over these next 21 laps at Charlotte. The outside line is always going to have the initial run here. Albright, though, gets a bit loose initially, and he's going to have to get some help from Gill on the backstretch. Peoples, though, helps Nerat on the backstretch on the inside line. This is Super Speedway pushing, and Albright getting loose under the push of Logan Gill in towards turn 3, although he dives it into the third turn. He's on the outside holding tough, and he might well get the lead by the start finish line here. It's absolutely neck and neck over the start finish line that time round. Albright's still there. And nearly contact into turn 1.
Yeah, this could give these drivers an indication. If we're going to be racing like this, we had a caution.
Who was leading?
It's Briggs and the 79 as well, too, of Legrave.
Yep, Legrave. Jay Legrave that time. Lawrence Brandon Biggs, unfortunately, is towing back to pit lane. Legrave does as well. those two might well fall by the wayside in this race, but it looks like Nerat was just about in front when the caution was out. They were absolutely neck and neck with he and Albright, and they'll restart from the front right line again together again. That's the Grave, I think, coming down on the 23 truck, and they both go up the racetrack and well avoided by everybody else.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage to both those drivers. What this is giving these other drivers is like dress rehearsals constantly over and over again, Ewan, as to which is going to be. If you have a little sprint lap, let's say, towards the end of this race, he got loose just before, wasn't it, for the 79? Yeah. It'll be a sprint race to see where would be the best part of the track to get if you're going to be trying to get your nose across the line of anybody else to win this race. That's how close they're going to be in the dying stages of this if we don't get some long green flag racing. That's going to be very interesting to see. Which would you go, the high side, go down on the inside apron? Like, if you're talking about 1 to 2 lap sprint per se, if we get closer to the end of this race. Not sure how many green-white checkers we have as well, too, Ewan. 2.
I think it's 2.
2?
If I'm remembering correctly. I don't remember us needing them very often, though. And we have got fakes.
I dummied it. I love the dummies.
We've got fakes.
Not everybody, but we do have a couple of drivers that did take the bait.
Okay. McMahon and
Edwards.
Edwards, into pit lane. Not a bad call if you're further down, but I'm not surprised the 4 leaders didn't come in, to be fair.
Did they allow that in real racing? I think the old dummies, showing the dummies, pretending to go down the pit lane. I think
so.
Yeah. I mean, because I know, in Formula 1 and stuff like that, you're not allowed to cross to the line, the pit lane exit entry line or something like that in certain tracks like that. So you can't just dummy it properly. But I like it. I like it in the virtual world. I'd like it in the real world as well, too. Kind of see if anybody's going to be risking it for the biscuit and if anybody will take the bait. Somebody's saying Logan's just sitting in the weed with these boys. Logan Gill up 13 places in P4, but he's not the biggest gainer in this race. We know Kevin is the biggest gainer in this race, up 17.
They've been trading that honour throughout the race so far. Yep. 16 laps to go when we get back racing again, because they're not racing this time round. It'll be next time. An interesting comment there that Logan is just waiting around. Do we really think he's just sort of hanging around at back in 4th place, and he's going to try, sandbagging just to try and get past those 3 right late on? I don't think that is necessarily the case at the moment. I think he would prefer, Logan Gill, there to be a long run to the end, because if you saw the gap he had after the green flag run, just before they all came into pit lane, about lap 54 it was, they all came in, 29 to go. He had and yes, it got eaten up with a tentative entrance to pit lane and then a slightly longer stop putting back to 3rd. But he, I think, was much more comfortable when this race was green for a long time. So I'm not sure these late cautions are really suiting him at the moment.
No. When he got out front, it showed his true pace, didn't it? He put those banker laps after banker laps after banker laps in. But once again, in the dirty air, in the traffic, he's finding it a lot more harder to show his true race pace speed. And as you said, very tentative going in the pit lane, isn't it? Very tentative going down, which actually cost him the place as well too, because Kevin was the quickest out of the pit box in that last time around. Because believe it or not too, Logan Gill's pit stop as well too was 16 seconds stationary. Kevy's was 15. Albright's was 14 and Howard's was 14, but remember they did pit. Albright pitted, remember, back on lap 50. So once again, his tyres are a little bit older than the rest of the field.
Yeah, just a little bit. There's the last pit lap for everybody and what they did. 4 tyres pretty much always round, unless you're at the back where stops have been a little bit longer, including last time for McMahon and Wang Cobbs, who are still on the lead lap. Only one other driver still in the race, I think, Jackson Paul, who is currently 3 laps down, hoping for more cautions to get back towards the lead laps here. Green flag back in the air here from Charlotte tonight. Still 12 on the lead lap, and these front 4 are going to be fighting again for this race lead. Albright not with the great launch for the second restart in a row, but he gets the assistance from Gill, who's going to push it. Oh, he nearly pushes him into a spin, and Gill's trying to make it 4 wide almost there. Peoples was trying to go for 3, and Jaden McLuggin is going to take him on the outside line now as well. So Albright leads comfortably at the end of the opening lap this time.
Getting around to approaching to 15 laps to go on this race. These drivers are going to be throwing these trucks absolutely everywhere, Ewan, to try to get themselves some fantastic position to line themselves up to see themselves get the podium or lifting that trophy on the top step.
15 to go, including the one they've just started. Albright slides up wide, and Gill has taken the race lead here. Maybe it is a short-run truck as well, as he rooks to the inside now, does Albright. Gill on the outside is surely going to have the opportunity there, although Albright's coming up on Peoples. Is he going to have the door shut? Gill's looking loose. Peoples got the run as well. Oh, although he's loose too. Nerat is blocked, really. He doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, well, I think Gill's going to be dangerous out front at the moment. We can see his true pace. We were talking about that just before. If he's gone, he's gone. They have to work together, I'd have to say, if you're the rest of the drivers, even though you're trying to battle for your own wins. You've got to say, don't let Gill get too far up the road. How are we going to work together? And then when we come down to about 3 laps to go, it's everybody's, guns out. You're all on your own. Good luck. But
9 in this front group, by the way, this time. It's not just about the front 4 this time round. That's what makes it so different. Look at this front group. The top 9 all involved, and they're all on the lead lap in this front group as well. So they can all make a difference in this race. 2 by 2 on the way down, just a little bit further down, and not for the leaders. But now Peoples gets to the inside, just late on the backstretch, towards turn 3. He gets to the inside line, 12 to go. Gill defends from that first attack.
And that will be one of many, I'd have to say, too. You know what Kevy's like a little bit later on. It takes a little bit to get going, but once Kevy gets going, he can get the job done too. Albright as well. It's going to be interesting to start to form a little bit of a breakaway from the rest of the field, but there's a lot of action in the midfield as well. Unfortunately, we've got one camera at one time, so we're going to keep it at the front. Here we go, another attack from Howard.
He's on the inside though, and through turn 4, to be fair, the inside has been a bit better than inside of turn 2 as far as the run off the corner is concerned, but still not brilliant. And Gill has got his nose in front for sure, coming in towards the first corner. Nerat on the outside line is going to get right in behind him here as well, and he's going to draft his way up to 3rd. Gill holds on to the lead. And he tries to cut up on... Oh, my word, that was so close, and he might be gone here. Peoples slides back up on the racetrack. Albright can't avoid him. He spins in front of the pack. Oh, no, he spins in front of everybody. And Power Peoples is collected with just 9 laps to go.
Oh, tried everything, didn't he? Absolutely everything. You saw that live on your pictures. We'll go back and have a look at the replay, but there it is. So we'll go back up a little bit here for a second because it kind of led all into this situation there, Ewan, if you want to explain that. We'll go half speed. There's the first contact.
Yeah, he tries to come up where where he wasn't clear with Kevin Nerat, and from there he can't control it really. He saves it once, but Albright at this point is being slowed down by him, and he gets into him again. So Peoples gets loose again, and this time he saves it, but he hits the apron, which makes him go the other way, and he gets collected by Edwards in the 9, and then Russo, who is coming through on the new tyres, by the way, on that restart. And the 52 gets in there late. That is Jackson Pole, who's laps down, although he should get one of those back, I think, with this latest caution. There's still 12 on the lead lap, but it remains to be seen who needs to take damage repair and who's got the fast repair left to do that.
So it all starts right here. Comes up, not sure if he's clear. He didn't think he was clear, did he? Because Kevin's got no really nowhere to go, does he? Kevin's just got to basically stick to the fence there. I think Howard did think he was clear enough. There was the contact. He's desperately trying to just keep this truck pointing in the right direction. Comes down, comes across. So this is quarter speed. We'll just speed it up a little bit. There it is. Little tap there. He's already loosey-goosey at this point. He's desperately still trying to save it. And then, of course, there she wrote for the rest of it. I want to go on board as well, too, and see. We'll have to back that up. Through the eyes, of course, of Howard, of how that was to try to handle this truck in this situation at full speed.
Yeah. Well, we'll be quiet and let you listen on.
And that is how quickly, my friend, you can go from the penthouse to the outhouse.
So pit stops for 3 of them that time round. Peoples obviously one of them. He's taking his fast repair and 4 tyres. Russo and Edwards maybe don't have their fast repairs because they've been in there for quite a while. Russo able to repair all the damage though. It wasn't too bad. I'm surprised Edwards has spent a minute in there and that's all it's required for him because it seemed like he had pretty bad damage to me. Although it might be actually that Russo's retired. That's why he's greyed out like that. So I think we've got Russo out. Indeed he is. So there are the guys who've been in pit lane most so far. Jordan Brady LeGray for a long time, although they're not still in the race, to be fair. They are both down the back end of the field. That's their pit times before they retired from this race. There will be 7 laps to go when they get to the line, and that will be perhaps the last restart. Maybe not, but it's going to be a mighty fight at the front. And to be honest, I'm not willing to count out Peoples yet, to be honest, with those newer tyres down there. 20 laps fresher than for those at the back, at the front.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Ewan's always seeing the glass half full and not half empty, and that's the thing. And you never know. A big wreck at the front there can just cause a whole bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden you're back in it. We've seen this before. I mean, I'm sure everybody that's tuned in, thank you very much for tuning in, has seen anything can happen. This is the beauty of oval racing, Ewan. I mean, we know that on road courses, generally, you're never going to have a big wreck up the front there that's going to cause somebody from P15 to come through and win the race. But on oval racing, you certainly can, especially if those drivers that are on the lead lap. Got an opportunity here at the moment. There's 11 of them on the lead lap. They're all going to be bunched up. Where would you go, Ewan? If you, as I said, I got a feeling it's going to come down to a 3-lap dash towards the end if we don't get another caution. Where do you just line up your attack and go?
Yeah, it's impossible to know, isn't it? Isn't it really? Very much depends what develops around you as well, because this situation's so changeable. Gill goes deep in the restart zone that time, and that's how everybody's able to stay so stacked up against one another there, coming into the restart. But Nerat's on the outside here. Gill, though, goes to the middle there. He wants to cover off Nerat on the outside. Jed Mulugin wants to follow, and he's going to. Kevin Nerat's going nowhere on this restart right now. Meantime, Wise is coming through. He's on slightly newer tyres. So is Wang Cobbs. So are the newer tyre runners starting to get somewhere here. Albright's right at the back of the pack. Wise goes right up the racetrack, and he goes into Jackson Albright. There's contact coming to the front stretch, and we're going to have a restart with just 3 laps to go.
I called it, didn't I, mate? I told you it's going to come down to a 3-lap shootout, and I think that's exactly the situation. Say Albright and Wise getting into each other. That's just unfortunate. But as the situation, it's going to bring opportunities for everybody else. And look at the movement around here there, Ewan. You can't even expect that something's going to happen. These drivers are going for it. They know in the dying stage of this race, it only takes a tiny little bit of contact. 2 trucks are in the fence. They got caught up. There you go. They're going to have to do a lot of fighting from this position right now.
How's this, by the way? How Peoples up to 5th place with that restart there. That was great efficiency as far as coming through the field is concerned. Just watch for Peoples here. See where he is. I didn't actually see him on this as I was focusing on this. Wise going very deep into 3. And there's Peoples in the 19 truck. Look at that. Yeah. Slips through on the inside.
You're right.
So those new tyres are really making a difference. And do not count him out for the race here.
No, sir. If Ewan's calling do not count somebody out for a race, then you pay attention and listen, because as I said, this man does thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours calling races every single year. He's only a young man too, believe it or not. And he knows his stuff. So Logan Gill has had to do a couple of restarts right now. As you said, he's a multiple race winner this season. Can he hold off the likes of Jaden, Jay, Kevin, Howard? 1. They're all there. And we still haven't got into green-white checker territory yet as well, if we need to.
We do have those available to go on a little bit further if required. But let's hope that this is going to be the final restart, because you don't want to see it come down to... Well, I don't think people want to see it come down to a green-white checker anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but... yeah, it's going to be a 7th restart coming up in a few moments. Still 11 on the lead lap. Joshua Wise able to use a fast repair there, so was Jackson Albright. So they'll be 10th and 11th, and they might as well take a new set of tyres, and have done, further down the back of the pack. But Peoples is the best of those who has taken new tyres since the green flag stops that we saw around lap 54, and that is very, very interesting, because I think those new tyres are making a big, big difference right now. Of course, Logan Gill already has 2 wins this season. Peoples has got 1 and would very much like to join him on 2 wins. He's got 3 laps to fight his way through here and get himself up into the lead. And he's going to be one to watch, that's for sure.
You wonder as well, too, because we know Chase is watching this from the sidelines. He's not out there defending. He's leading in the championship. So I'd like to ask Chase, who would you like to win this race? Of course, I mean, it just depends on the situation. Maybe he doesn't really mind if the likes of Logan and the other drivers that are closest to him in the championship, but we'll see what his opinion is. There it is, as you mentioned, those tyres. We were talking in the green room about they shouldn't need those 5 sets of tyres, well, essentially 4 sets of tyres over the wall, but maybe this tyre strategy late in this race, the full freshies, will come into play, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I thought fresh tyres would come into play. I just didn't think they'd need all 4 sets over the wall, right, to be honest. Yep. Only those who have had a lot of damage and have been in for repairs. Maybe down the back end of the field, some guys have used all their tyres, but really for 125 miles, 5 sets is not very much. Oh, sorry, is quite a lot indeed. That's a set of tyres for every 15, 16, 17 laps, something like that. So really not very long stints there. But anyway, it's not about how many tyres they've got over the wall. They're going to use the ones they've currently got on the car to the end now, because we are in the dying stages of the 5th round in the Oakhouse Racing Truck Series tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. 3 of the 83 laps remain. The 7th restart of the night. This time Logan Gill from the restart zone. He went deep in the restart zone last time, and he does so again, just making everybody hesitate for a moment before launching off the line and getting clear even in towards turn 1 with 3 to go.
Yep, Logan's going to be the one to catch at the moment. Everybody has to work together and try to attack. It's going to be maybe who's going to be going for P2 and P3 at the moment, because Logan's got a good exit and keep it out of the fence. There we go. Trocky, and there's Peoples as well too. You're talking about that. Howard is working his way up at the moment in P3. A little bit of door banging perhaps. Doesn't really matter. Jaden is in P2 at the moment. Logan's still leading.
Loose there as well. Peoples on the outside of Jay Trocky now as Jaden Mulligan closes on Logan Gill. Maybe he's got the best chance here, unless Peoples on those new tyres can get past Trocky right now. If he doesn't get past right now, then it's over for him, and they're going to be scrapping for 3rd place among themselves here. He's got the run on the backstretch though. Can he take the line he wants to into turn 3? I think he can, and so now he can start to challenge the top 2. Gill is going to see his most fierce challenge though from Jaden Mulligan, who's only a 10th and a half back, going into the white flag lap. This race is official. 1 lap to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway tonight. Logan Gill looking for his 3rd win of the season. Howard Peoples just too far back after his late incident in this race. Jaden Mulligan has driven very well to get up to 2nd, even in the 1st place here. But Logan Gill on a late restart is untouchable at the moment. Through turns 3 and 4, and Logan Gill for the 3rd time this season is going to win in the Oakhouse Racing Truck Series from Charlotte.
There it is. Logan gets the job done again. Essentially from the pit lane. Well, no qualifying time set. And the man from Hammond, Louisiana, gets the job. No, sorry? LA. Sorry.
I don't actually know where he's from. I don't know if he means LA or what.
No, we'll ask him actually soon when we get the post-race interviews, but job done, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I've got no idea. Is that the abbreviation for Louisiana? It might be.
I thought it would be.
Anyway.
There you go. You're getting a told you out there in the chat right now that Logan was going to win the race.
Yeah, that's Tristan's 2nd message tonight. And one before the race and one afterwards. There you go. That's a 60% strike rate now for those who have said at the start that Logan Gill was going to win, because he's won 3 out of 5. Well, there are the race results. There are the podium finishes at least. Logan Gill holding off Jaden Mulligan, and Howard Peoples coming through for a 3rd place finish. He's not going to lose out too badly in points, but Logan Gill will be the new points leader by, I think, over 20 points at the end of tonight. He wins in front of Mulligan and Peoples, who we'll speak to shortly. Kevin Nerrat gets his third top 5 in a row with a 4th place finish this time. Jay Truckee rounds out the top 5. Jackson Albright getting back to 6th despite that late issue for him. Ryan Cobbs Jr., Dwayne McMahon, John Edwards and Joshua Wise rounding out the top 10. Last car on the lead lap was James Burns. Jackson Paul was 1 lap down in the end, or rather 2 down I should say, but the last finisher of this race, John Russo, was taken out late on in this race, and also non-finishers were Lawrence Brandon Biggs, Jay LeGrave, Dave Stinson, Michael Cole, Sean and Brady LeGrave and Bill Ponsma, who retired after just 9 laps tonight. Let's go from 3rd to 1st this time round in the interview, shall we? And start with Howard Peoples, who finishes 3rd place tonight from Charlotte. Howard, congratulations on a top 3 finish, but how are you feeling about the result? Because you were leading at stages tonight. You had a crash relatively late on 2. Is it disappointment for you or pleased that you could get back to 3rd?
Well, I'm pleased I got back up there, but it's real disappointment. I thought I had a really good chance to win the race, and me and the 46 was just racing really hard, or the 47, and I think it was my fault, but it's just racing, and that happens.
It was just racing, I think, in the end. It took us through the emotions when you come back out there after that caution. You're on new tyres, obviously, but you're at the back now for a very late restart, what turned out to be 2 late restarts in the end there. How did you sort of pick yourself up from that to sort of go again after such a late and disappointing incident?
Yeah, it's really nervous times back there, to be honest. I don't really think about too much about the wreck. I just had to get back on the horse and try to get back up there. Really, I'm just sick of losing to Logan, and he just talks trash every time he gets a chance. I'm tired of it, so I just want to beat him.
You won't be the only one, that's for sure. Congrats on a run back to 3rd place tonight at Charlotte, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Yep, shout out to my family back home watching.
Thanks very much. That's Howard Peoples finishing 3rd place here tonight from Charlotte. Jed Mulligan got to 2nd place in the 92 truck and joins us as well. Jed, welcome in. Good to have you with us. Pole position for you tonight, first of all, then a 2nd place finish, but relative anonymity as far as a battle for the race lead was concerned right until the very end. Just tell us about the middle portion of that race. Was it a long run in the middle there you weren't particularly enjoying as you were the short runs, or what was going on through the middle part of that race?
Well, whenever you get to the middle, it was kind of I was like almost out of it, really. I kind of like my mind wasn't there. I was just sitting there. I was like, dang, this race is almost over practically. I fell back to 14th early on. Then the long run comes, and cars are passing me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just sit here and save a little bit of tires. I saved some, and I find myself back up in there fighting for the win, but tires gave out on me, burn them up, just trying to get back up there. But, that's how it goes.
Just tell us about that last restart there. 3 laps to go with Logan Gill restarting from the front. How much of a shot did you give yourself there when you restarted from that position?
I thought I was going to be really fast in the outside line. You can send yourself on a slingshot, but he got up there quick, and I didn't really have much speed coming out of 1 and 2, and it just he pulled away with it.
Well, congrats on getting to 2nd in the end here tonight, Jaden, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Yes, sir.
Thanks very much. Jaden Mulligan finishing 2nd here tonight from Charlotte. And finally, we can chat now to Logan Gill, who's won for a 3rd time in the Truck Series this season. Chatting to us now. Logan, congratulations on a race victory tonight. Tell us about those late restarts there that just seemed to keep coming with 7 to go and then 3 to go. You executed both well. What was the key to those final restarts?
Oh man, just every race I've noticed where the restart box has been in the green flag. So I took advantage of that a little bit, and I knew right when to go, and I knew if I clear that outside car, I won the race. That outside line was just too powerful all night, honestly. Yeah.
You're going to be points leader for the first time this season after tonight, but still only by, between 20 and 30 points, I believe, over Howard Peoples. Is it strange to have won 3 races out of 5 to begin this season and not have a particularly large points lead, or do you feel that's accurate for how this season's gone?
I'm very happy about the back-to-back-to-back wins. 3 wins is great. Never thought I'd even win, but, the points I get, other guys are very consistent, just like me. I did have a really bad first race, so and I think that's what's holding me back a little bit more from a bigger points lead. But it's what happens.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on winning here tonight from Charlotte, and thanks for chatting to us at the end as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Logan Gill, chatting to us at the end of a third victory in a row in the Oak House Racing Truck Series. By the way, I was just on Google there while we were chatting.
It's Louisiana.
Pickles. You were indeed correct.
Yeah.
LA is the abbreviation for Louisiana.
Yeah.
So there you are. Well done on that. Hammond, Louisiana is southeast Louisiana. I did not know that, so there you go. But a great race in the end, and a great victory for Logan Gill. I do think it's odd that he's won 3 in a row and he still doesn't have a bigger points lead, but we've got a real season on our hands, I think, between Peoples and Gill. And when Chasen McCook returns, I'm sure we're going to have a great season with him involved there or thereabouts as well. Jackson Albright is on the fringes of that. We've got a great second half of the season coming up. We
do, and we appreciate everybody tuning in as well, to the fans out there giving us some feedback and letting us know there. And Chase himself, of course, man, it was leading the championship going into this race. We'll have to, hopefully, if Chase, you are around, you'll be at Gateway, of course, our next race on the 12th of February. And I can't wait to actually go. I don't think I've ever done ever produced a dirt track in my life as well too, Ewan. You probably have, as I said, but that'll be interesting. Bristol Dirt. I hope I even have it, but I'll get it. Don't worry about that. It's a checkered flag. And Logan Gill gets the job done again, my friend. He certainly does, and for the third time, he is a winner in the Oak House Racing Truck Series here tonight. A big thanks to everyone for tuning in from Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's been a pleasure having you along for this Motormouth broadcasting broadcast here tonight. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside Dee Biggles in the commentary box, and until we return and see you again at Gateway next week, it's goodbye for now.